Unfortunately, as a class, our interviews for Project 1 did not go well. According to David, there was a lack of general knowledge and understanding of the parts and functions of a flash camera circuit. Because of this, our week was spent reviewing circuit and charge to clear up any confusion. This week allowed us to take a step back and relearn this information in a step-by-step process. Monday, we began class by going over the interview information. We covered the parts of the circuit, how they work, and the overall flow of the system. David handed out a schematic diagram of a circuit for us to fill out and keep for ourselves for our own review. We also discussed Lenz's law and how it makes the BB fire. Next, we were handed back the pre-assessment test that we took at the beginning of the semester. We went through the answers as teams, and then David helped us to understand the material and ask any further questions. On Wednesday, we began by finishing up the assessment test. Then we revisited our electricity flip charts and wrote down what we had learned about electricity so far. We looked over and answered our previous questions and checked to see if what we thought was true was actually true. We ended class by beginning our section on electromagnetic radiation. We discussed the different types of rays and how excited electrons create radiation. In between class was mainly spent catching up on my notebook and reviewing the information from class. It is disheartening to learn that we all did so poorly on our interviews for Project 1. It felt like such a long process and everyone seemed to work so hard. It would be nice to be able to finish strong. However, the review of this information was much clearer than when we learned it initially. This means that I was able to follow David's line of thought better this week than I had during the whole last section. Also, going over the assessment quiz was nice because it shows how we would answer test questions on this subject. Because David does not administer tests, it is hard to know what we need to take out of these subjects. The assessment quiz helped me to use my knowledge along with my common sense to problem solve. Now my newfound confidence needs to focus towards the future. We are getting into radiation and it seems very confusing. I will do what I can outside of class to learn and review, but I need to prepare myself for a rough week next week. I feel that there will be a lot of information covered next week that will be way over my head. If I can come in with a basic understanding, it might help me keep up. Also, my group needs to start working on Project 2 because we don't have much time to work on it. Hopefully we can all do a little better this time around. This week was both frustrating and illuminating. I learned more in this 1 week than I have so far all semester. I am glad that David was able to explain things using terminology and a teaching method that was easy for me to follow. I actually have confidence now when all I used to have was anxiety. Hopefully we will be able to learn radiation in a similar manner as to make Project 2 easier and more fun for the whole class.
Things that make you go,